What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So as you guys know, the iPhone 11 has been out for a minute now, and this is a phone, the Galaxy A50, I never even owned, but I knew a lot of people that were recommending me to pick it up, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do this comparison. And one thing right at the gate, the back of the Galaxy A50 is so cool looking, and I really like this design. But the interesting thing is between both of these phones is that the iPhone 11 right now is selling for about $699. You can probably get one cheaper in the used market right now, but the Galaxy A50, dude, I've been seeing this. I mean, I picked this one up for like $299, but you can get this on Amazon for like $280 fully unlocked. And as soon as I picked it out, my bad guys, and as soon as I picked it out, I mean, I've never even felt this phone before. Alright, that's the last time I swear. I never even felt this phone before. I never even really saw a review of it, and I didn't really know what to expect. But the Galaxy A50, honestly, in my opinion, has blown my proportions out. It's blown my expectations or whatever. And the first thing I noticed, obviously the notch, that's one thing you gotta see. I mean, the iPhone 11 has that pretty big notch, and you know what? More bezel all around than the Galaxy A50, which is pretty surprising. Now between these two, I don't think one looks, exponentially better, but definitely when you're looking at the front, the Galaxy A50 looks much better, and that's pretty crazy considering the fact that the Galaxy A50 costs less than the iPhone 11, and Samsung was able to do a lot more with the Galaxy A50 than I think Apple was in terms of design with the iPhone 11. Now, looking on the bottom, we have the Lightning port on the iPhone 11, and the Galaxy A50 has a USB Type-C port, but also a headphone jack, which is pretty surprising. You have the Infinity U display up top, I think that's what they call it. On the side, we got that. On the back, we have a triple camera setup on the Galaxy A50, but on the iPhone 11, we have a dual camera setup, and I'll get into those in a second. But that's pretty surprising, man. Those camera sensors are really nice on even both these phones. Now on the front, surprisingly, we have a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED display on the Galaxy A50. This is a 1080p display, and it's actually a pretty decent panel. It might look a little weird on the camera because it's kind of bright. Let me go and turn off adaptive brightness, and then go and turn this down. Okay, that's much better. And on the iPhone 11, we have a 6.1-inch Liquid Retina display. They call it Liquid Retina, they call it all these different types of names, bro. It's a Retina display at the end of the day. This one is 828 by 1792, and obviously, as you can tell, not the best looking panel, not the greatest panel, but it gets the job done for the most part, bro. And yes, between these two, I would still probably go for the Galaxy A50, and I don't really know what to make of this because the Galaxy A50 costs way less than the iPhone 11, about half the cost, but they were able to do so much with this phone. And it's not like this phone came out in years and years ago. This phone came out in February 2019, which was just earlier this year. This one came out in September, so this one's only a couple months old, but still, man, that's pretty surprising in my opinion what Samsung was able to do with this. In terms of the feeling in the hand, they both feel kind of the same. I think maybe the iPhone 11 feels a little bit more sturdier, if that makes any sense. The screen feels a little bit better too, but really between these two, there's not one that screams more premium. I think this is glass on the back. I could be totally mistaken, but it definitely feels like it. There's no removable back on both of these, but there is a microSD card slot on the Galaxy A50, which is a super compelling thing if you're planning on picking up a phone. You want it to have some sort of feature like that. So that kind of covers up everything on the outside. In terms of software, this thing was released with Android Pie, so this thing does have One UI, which is really nice. The iPhone 11 was released with iOS 13. You are able to get iOS 13.2.3 on it right now. And what I can tell you is that in terms of software, even though the Galaxy A50, whatever, is running Android and it's on Samsung, whatever, the iPhone 11 is going to outlast the Galaxy A50 without a doubt. I'm pretty sure this is probably going to get another version or two of Android, then it's done. This one is probably going to get 4 or 5, maybe 6 versions of iOS. Probably not 6, but probably 5 versions of iOS, which is insane. So that's probably what I see Apple doing, but who knows in the future. So that pretty much covers it up in terms of the software side of things as well. Now we're going to do a little bit of a speed comparison. I have most of the same apps on both these phones, so I'm going to see which one loads which one faster. Now before I do that, I'll go and tell you the specs of both phones. The iPhone 11 has the Apple A13 Bionic chip, Hexa-core CPU with 4GB of RAM on all the models, where the Samsung Galaxy A50 has the Exynos 9610 chipset, an octa-core CPU, and 4GB of RAM on the base model, and then 6GB of RAM on the top two models. So there's a 64GB model with 4GB of RAM, which is the one I have, but then there's a 64GB model that has 6GB of RAM, and then another 6GB RAM option. So there's two models with 6GB of RAM, and two models with 4GB of RAM, if that makes sense, but I have the 4GB model. With that being said, let's go and see which one is the faster phone between these two. My initial thing, I would probably say the iPhone 11 is faster, but I've been wrong before, so let's go and see which one is the faster device. Alright, now that we're back, now I don't think I have Real Racing 3 downloaded because I forgot probably to download it last night. But let's go ahead and load up some of these apps. Let's go and do Snake versus Blocks. 3, 2, 1. And as you can see, Samsung is already doing their little thing where we have to do 30,000 pop-ups. And still, without a doubt, I would probably give the edge to the iPhone 11. What is wrong with this phone? Why do they have to make so many pop-ups? And it's not just this phone, it's Samsung. Samsung always makes these little pop-ups, and it's so obnoxious. And gameplay, as you can see, looks almost the same. I mean, it's probably the same thing for this game, but it's a pretty basic game. Let's do Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And as you can see, the iPhone 11 is already a little bit ahead. As you can see, we have to go and install more things. Android literally bugs me to death sometimes. There's no reason that we need to be doing these type of things when we're playing games. Just have it installed automatically. Why do they make us do this every time? Guys, sorry if I'm sounding a little upset. Temple Run 2 again, 3, 2, 1. And right now, as you can see, the iPhone 11 just a little bit ahead. It looks a little less stuttery as well than the Galaxy A50. And eventually, we're into it on the iPhone 11. Let's get into some gameplay. Let's see if one of them stutter. And they both seem to be doing fine. Not too much stuttering going on. And as you can see, bro, in my opinion, I think the Galaxy A50 does have the better screen. I mean, the side viewing angles, I think, is a little bit worse, though. But when you're directly looking at it, I think the Galaxy A50 has a better panel. Fruit Ninja, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going to redo this one. Fruit Ninja again, 3, 2, 1. iPhone 11 beat it way ahead. I'm surprised by that, actually. And it seemed a little bit less stuttery in my opinion as well. Stack, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's see how many pop-ups we're going to get this time. Okay. And still, even with that little pop-up on the Galaxy A50, it's still way ahead, as you can see. I wouldn't give it, way, way faster, but it was still way ahead in my opinion. Temple Run original one, 3, 2, 1. And as you can see, again, the iPhone 11 is just a bit ahead of the Galaxy A50. And eventually we're loaded into it, and eventually we do get into it on the Galaxy A50. So let's see if there's any stuttering going on. It's a pretty basic game, so I doubt there's going to be anything crazy. So you can see pretty much the same exact thing. Thank you, 3, 2, 1. And actually, the Galaxy A50 was able to open that one up faster. That was actually pretty surprising to me. Let's do Twitter, 3, 2, 1. And as you saw, the iPhone 11 opened that one up faster. Let's go ahead and end it off with Instagram, 3, 2, 1. And iPhone 11 able to open that one up faster. But what I will say is that, to kind of sum up this comparison, the speed comparison, the Galaxy A50 just a little bit slower than the iPhone 11, but the Galaxy A50 was still able to keep its own, man. And for like the $280 that you're probably going to spend on it, that's not really that bad, in my opinion. So now that kind of covers it up in terms of a quick speed comparison. Let's go and do a little bit of a camera comparison. Now this is not going to be a full crazy one. It's going to be a quick one. Now the iPhone 11 has two 12 megapixel sensors, a wide angle lens, and an ultra wide sensor. The Galaxy A50 has three camera sensors, a 25 megapixel wide angle lens, an 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor, and then a 5 megapixel depth sensor, whatever that means. Now looking at the Galaxy A50's camera, it honestly doesn't look that bad from what I'm looking at it right now. You do have, a lot of these types of different focus or types of low things on the bottom, but you can just see how glitchy that camera was. I was trying to change the thing at the bottom and it was not wanting to change. And as you can see, it's still not, okay, there we go. It's just a little bit glitchy and a little bit clunky, but we do have quite a bit of features though. If I go ahead and click here, you can go and see all these photos and all these different settings. Now, they say you're not able to shoot 4K videos on here, so I'm just curious. And you are not able to shoot 4K videos on here, which is surprising. You can do 1080p full HD, but you cannot shoot 4K. That's really, really surprising. I was not expecting that. So that's a pretty big disadvantage right there. I mean, you can do 4K at up to 60 frames on the iPhone 11, but you can't do that on the Galaxy A50. As you can see, the iPhone 11, very, very good camera sensor. You only have two cameras compared to the three here, but they're still better in my opinion. You have the ultra-wide sensor as well, and you do have the capability to shoot 4K at 60 frames, so that's a pretty big advantage for picking up an iPhone 11 versus the Galaxy A50. The quality, who knows, is probably, in my opinion, better on the iPhone 11, as you guys can probably see. But you do have, it's not a bad camera on here either. You do have the camera sensors, that's pretty nice. It just looks better than what it really is in my opinion. Now hitting on the battery life really quickly, the Galaxy A50 has a 4000 mAh battery. The iPhone 11 has a 3110 mAh battery, and between these, I would probably say the iPhone 11 has just a little bit better battery life. The Galaxy A50's battery life, not bad. I mean, obviously it's really, really good. This phone isn't extremely powerful. It's not like a, super flagship phone with a bunch of RAM and all that stuff it needs to power. It's not like that. It's a pretty basic phone at the end of the day. So both these will be pretty comparable in my opinion, but I do think the iPhone 11 with that low resolution display and with that better chipset, I think the iPhone 11 will ultimately win in the battery compartment, or department for that matter. I kind of sum up this comparison, bro. In my opinion, between these two phones, the superior phone is definitely the iPhone 11. I think it's a better phone all the way around for the most part. Really, the only thing the A50 has on it is probably the screen. I do like the screen on the A50. It looks really, really nice. But what I will tell you is that for the price per value, whatever metric you want to use, the Galaxy A50, dude, it's a very good phone for the price, in my opinion. You cannot beat this. I mean, this phone looks like a Galaxy S10, I mean, in my opinion. So if I had to go pick a phone and I only had like a couple $100s to spend, I would probably end up getting a Galaxy A50 in my opinion. It's a really, really good phone. And between these two, this one has the better value per dollar, but this one is the better phone all around. So if you want to pick up a Galaxy A50, an unlocked one, I'll find the cheapest one on Amazon and I'll link it down straight in the description below so you guys can help support the channel at the same time. That's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section as well. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it would mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.